Okay, guys, this is Remix, also known as Daniel, and we're going to talk a little bit about fortifications today, especially the importance of traps and abatis on both offense and defense, and the effects of archer towers and how wall levels and archery levels affect their range. So I wanted to paint a little picture for you before we start this. Picture a castle with 100,000 archers on the walls. Okay. Now, those 100,000 archers can only see 1,000 yards, so you can get in pretty close to the castle before they can ever start shooting at you, right? Well, with traps and abatis, as you see, the range is 5,000 yards, and the same with rock falls. The range is 5,000 yards. So basically, what this does is it extends the sight of the defending archers and archer towers to 5,000 yards, meaning you're really, I don't know, you're significantly increasing that no man's land there, where your troops are having to march from point A to the walls under fire. You see what I'm saying? The goal is when you're attacking is to get rid of the traps, the abatis, and the rockfall to limit the no man's land, to limit the amount of distance you have to cover before you can get in there and shoot those archers and archer towers or run them over with cavalry. The goal when you're on defense is to extend that range, which means you want to preserve your traps, your abatis, and your rockfall. So, as you can see, they're conflicting goals, obviously. Um, I have a little bit of each. I'm not really gonna go into it. I generally keep 100 traps, 100 abatis, um, 20 logs, 20 rock falls, and then everything else is archer towers. Um, we've talked about traps and abatis and rockfall. They all three extend the range of the battle to 5,000, and you understand how important that is now. Like I said, with just archer towers, the starting range is 1,300. Right, so you're starting basically not in range, but from 1,300, your archers will be close enough to hit their archer towers in one round. So that's awesome. Their archer towers only get to shoot at you for a round before you get to start owning mofos. Okay. When traps and abatis and rockfall are present, their archers get to shoot at you for 5, 6, 7 rounds, sometimes 8 rounds, before you even get close enough to fire your first shot, or before your ponies ever get close enough to do any damage whatsoever. So, you see the importance, and I'm going to show you the importance in battle reports of both clearing traps, abatis, and rockfall, and on on offense, and preserving traps, abatis, and rockfall on defense. So, let's see. We'll talk about clearing traps. The best way to clear traps, really, workers clear traps better than anything else. The the problem with workers is they're so damn slow. Usually, the best way to clear traps is to send 100 workers and 200 warriors, and just send like 9 waves of these guys, and just keep sending and keep sending and keep sending until all the traps are gone. Okay, and I don't know why workers kill more traps, but they do. If there's 1,000 traps and you send 200 workers, they're gonna kill like 300 traps. If there's 1,000 traps and you send 200 warriors, they're gonna kill like 100 traps. I don't know why that is. I can't explain it. It just is what it is. Um, Cavalry and cataphracts will also kill traps, but at an extremely reduced rate. You're gonna lose 3 to 4 cavalry for every trap you kill, so it's just not worth it. Abatis. The only way to clear an abatis is with cavalry or cataphracts. And the best way to do this is with 200 cavalry and 1 cataphract. And just like with the traps, you just send like 9 waves and just send them over and over and over again until they're gone. Okay, so you can expect, if Machinery plays a part in this, and we'll get into machinery a little bit later. But machinery plays a part into this. But if a guy doesn't have machinery and say he has 1,000 abatis, you can expect to clear all 1,000 abatis in about, I'd say, 13 attacks. If if you send it the way I suggest you send it, with 200 to 250 cavalry and one cataphract. And you're saying, well, why one cataphract? It makes a difference. It really does. And why send more than one cataphract? They're so expensive. So, archer towers are the lifeblood of your fortifications, of your wall defense. They're also the bane of your existence on when you're attacking. We're going to come back to those here in a minute. Rolling logs. Their really only use is to kill enemy rainbows, like the guys who like to send 99,995 archers and then one of everything else. The rolling logs will kill the rainbow, and then your archer towers can just rain down on archers, which is good. Okay, rock falls are the same way. Only in the in-game, rock falls can kind of be a significant fortification in the fact that you're going to start seeing a lot of people use rams and ballistas, and there's the only thing more effective against rams and ballistas than rock falls or defensive trebuchets is the the catapults. So, and considering, most people don't have, 10 level 10 barracks to train a bunch of catapults, they instead elect to have like 1,000 or 2,000 rock falls. I personally don't do that because you can counter rams and ballistas with cavalry, and we'll get into that in another day. But okay, so now we're back to the archer towers, and we're going to talk about range. You see, we talked a little bit about range in the beginning. The traps, the abatis, and the rockfall all have a starting range of 5,000, right? So if those don't exist, their archers can only see 1,000 yards away, and that's like where you start is 1,000 yards away. Well, your archers have a range of, I think, if you have archery 10, your archers have a range of over 1,000 yards. So you start the battle within firing range, and I don't think I have to really elaborate on how important that is to be able to fire on them in the first round. Okay, now if traps, abatis, or rockfall are present, even one of any of those three will set the range to 5,000. And then you're talking you have to march 4, 5, 6, 7 turns before you're in firing range. And by then, you typically don't have any troops left. And that's the way that works. Archer towers, they've got a life of 2,000, and engineering significantly affects that life. And they've got an attack of 300. Again, the attack hero, and there's some technology that significantly affects their attack. They've got a range of 1,300, and I want to talk about that. For every wall level, you get 4.5% bonus on your range. So for level 10 walls, you're looking at a 45% bonus on your range, close to a 50% bonus on your range. So instead of